The story of the Siege of Calais from the 23rd to the 26th of May 1940 has been eclipsed by the evacuation from Dunkirk, which started the next day. Indeed, whether the defence of the town was of any military use at all is still a bit controversial. However, my dad was there, so briefly and much simplified, here's the tale. Dad's lot, the 2nd Battalion of the King's Royal Rifle Corps, were taken over by the Royal Daffodil and would have got off about here, although this, of course, is a peacetime picture from before the war. About 3,000 troops were sent in to hold the town after 3 days of fighting, which involved being shelled and dive-bombed by Stukas, which Dad said was the most frightening thing he'd ever experienced. The town fell, and the troops who'd survived were captured, except for 47 who got away under fire from the jetty on the eastern side of the harbour, among them one David John Williams. The Germans moved into what was left of the town, though on the 27th, Dunkirk was their next objective. What hadn't been flattened by the Germans was later bombed by the Allies, which is why almost all of the town today was built post-war. So where's this then? Kathmandu? Lhasa? No, Calais. On the morning of the 70th anniversary commemoration of the Siege of Calais in 1940, after 3 days of glorious sunshine, it pissed down. So me and Mal wandered the streets, me carrying the B&B landlady's umbrella, working out where Dad would have been. This is the Place d'Armes, which Dad would more or less have had to go through when they were pulling back towards the quayside from the advancing Germans. Fortunately, nobody was trying to kill us, so we could relax with a coffee. Then, the rain, fortunately having stopped, time for the official lunch. At least 150 people with many regimental ties. Sister got landed with a bore. I, on the other hand, fell in amongst posh folks, including the Colonel, or a Colonel anyway. He talked non-stop. Then onto the service out at the memorial. Sorry about the wobbly cam, I haven't got a tripod with me. As you can see, lots of green blazers, lots of blokes with, well, you can't see them, regimental ties, and almost all of them were like us, children or relatives of blokes who'd actually been there.
On the order of service, we pray the Lord's Prayer together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we shall remember them.
Whereas that was one of the blokes who'd been there. Slightly wobbly last post. Flags of the regiment. Look, I wasn't concentrating on her. That's the mayor, who was a bit pissed off, if you believe what I could see, but anyway, she was there. She's the mayor. And him! Looked like a homeless waller, but he stood in perfect silence and watched the whole thing. Very odd. That's it, all over. To your duties go. To your duties fall out, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't quite moving, wasn't it?
Glad that we can.
Yes, me too. And the other Mr. Skidmore?
Indeed. Very simple and very right.
Yeah.
Thank you, lad.
Yeah, two blokes. Like us, their dad was there, Mr. and Mr. Skidmore. Right, in the town, this is where it all happened. The Allies on the left, Germans on the right. There's the Hôtel de Ville, the sort of town hall, which the Germans eventually used as their headquarters. And this is the harbour, into which the yacht Gulzar would have come in, much like this boat here. And you see that triangular building there? That's more or less, I reckon, where Dad and his mates hid under the jetty and were picked up by the little yacht Gulzar and taken out probably at about the same sort of speed as that little boat there. And this is what they would have seen of Calais as they pulled out, except it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the smoke wouldn't have come from ferries but from burning buildings. As we all know, out of 3,000 troops who went in, 47 got away, and Dad was one of them.